it is a kind of technique to get the information from Washington, Paris, and from the most updated personality with us, our international affairs commentator Shamsul Alam Panthu. I want to put you a question. Why world is so restless for you, sir?
Well, since it is a very nebulous thing, different people may have different opinions. One of the most important reasons, but there are many reasons of course, the most important reasons is there are undemarcated borders, unsettled problems and all this. These all started with the Second World War. After the end of the Second World War, the French and the British foreign ministers sat together, Sykes-Picot agreement, and they drew, literally they drew borders like this with a pencil, and that is the border between Egypt, between Syria, between Iraq and all those things, and there are problems everywhere. Besides this, and in addition to this, the beginning of the Jewish settlement in Palestine was seriously increased in number and inflow after the Second World War and during it. So, this Egyptian this problem with the Jewish state and the Palestinian state, that is the Palestine and other Arab countries, and also in the Latin American countries where there has always been the American suzerainty they are showing as if they are the owners. So, these are the basic reasons, and then with the growth of population, with the growth of awareness among the citizens, they have now awareness of what the colonialists did and how they have looted their properties. So, unease and lack of peace, I should say, is everywhere in the world. And besides this, the suzerain feeling of a sovereign of the world by the superpower, the lone superpower, now though Russia is coming up. So, that is also one of the reasons for this unhappiness everywhere.
Does this shift embolden Russia or help stabilize the region? I have one more question with this. What will be the impact on Ukrainian moral and domestic politics as President has shifted his intention not to join NATO?
Thank you for the question. The President, Mr. Zelensky, has not really voluntarily withdrawn from it. It was a very thing, the least he could offer. Because of the pressure from America and other countries now, in consultation with the rest of the European leaders, he has agreed to this very minimum loss of not joining NATO when the time comes, because that was his target, I should say. Because even if, and we are all assuming now, presuming, the Russian side has not yet said anything, Putin has not yet said, well, don't be a member of the NATO and I will go up. He has not said anything. They are voluntarily offering not to join NATO. What Putin will say is not yet known. My hunch is that he may not agree at all. So, this is not a very pleasant thing, but he is trying to save the rest of his country. Maybe he has also forgotten that great port and other things in the Black Sea. That is also gone, because it has been the Russian, in those days not Soviet, the Russian warm water policy. So, that is there. So, the question is, there is also a fault on the Western government side. After the stabilization of post-Soviet Russia, they committed that we will not go for any further expansion of NATO. They are committed, and after that so many countries have joined, Sweden and all those things, you know. So, that is, you cannot blame that man, though he is expansionist, imperialistic and all that, but these Western side also have faulted on this. So, this is the thing, and that is why if Putin agrees only on the condition that there would be security guarantees and he will not join NATO, that would be very good. And
so, ball is in Putin's court.
Totally.
Russia or Vladimir Putin took 3 days to invade Crimea. Russia invaded Georgia in 6 days.
To win, to take it over.
Yeah. Invaded Georgia in 6 days. Russia second time took only 7 days to go for Chechnya. why Russia took 3.5 years to complete this invasion in Ukraine. Now the commentators are saying it is because of the negotiation with the Western. That's why it was a long journey. I want to hear from you, sir, what specific actions should NATO take in response to increasing sabotage or interference, because Russia is unstoppable. Putin is unstoppable.
Yes, but you must also remember, I am not pleading for any country, but think of the role of the greatest power in the West, United States. Are they really participating in any way other than selling weapons to NATO, to European countries, NATO of which he is a member, selling his weapons, and they give it to to Zelensky as a loan. So Russia is not participating, and all these countries. The other day also they said that they will take really for about 3 years. They are now preparing about 3 years more to prepare for a real war, and they are going on with this. But meanwhile, Russia has done one thing, capitation, cutting the head off. Russia has capitated Zelensky, not Zelensky, actually his country. The entire Black Sea coast has been taken over. The great port of Odessa is now under Putin's control. So practically Ukraine is traditionally a very rich and big country, resources and all. Even the atom bomb pile up was in Ukraine, and they handed it over after they split, and they are becoming an independent country. So this country has now been made a landlocked country. Can you imagine? They don't have any access to any port in the sea anywhere. Can it survive with dignity? It can't. And I am afraid Russia may not agree to hand it over. And America is now in a very difficult situation. These are not coming in the newspapers, etc. The Vice President of America has already resigned. He has resigned already. And you know that theoretically, no, by declaration, USA has withdrawn. He said has cut off NATO. He is not in NATO anymore. And immediately the European countries, Britain, France, Germany, and including Canada, they have formed not the coalition of the willing. It is the European group.
MI6 warned to the world through the teleprompt that Russia is planning something which may surprise the entire world. Norman Flat-Barnes has been disconnected. I will request our production control room to go and reconnect Norman, because we need the tech from Washington. I want to come to Ali Ahmed again, sir. What are you hearing? MI6, a very responsible military intelligence, Wing 6 by Britain, has teleprompted officially to the world leaders that Russia is planning something.
Yes, but when when it elaborated on this news, said all right, and then said they will attack European countries, major, especially Britain, maybe in 3-4 years' time. That was there, not immediate. They are coming, because a war like that needs a lot of preparation from all the sides. The MI6 elaborated that it will be in 3-4 years' time. So that is the thing, but still it is also a threat, and a real threat. And Russia now seems to have got possession of certain war machine that is very powerful now. So they are very, very confident of themselves, and with China is joining them. China is also very soon coming up as the major, the most powerful military power in the world. Very soon is coming, not yet done officially.
Putin is still playing with the Westerns.
In the first instance, we have seen the sanctions being declared against certain countries, certain persons and all that, but none of them has had so far or is going out of existence. They suffer some disadvantages, some price hike, economic difficulties, but it has not served its purpose very much, because the sanction on Russia, for example, on the sale of its petroleum, it is being openly violated by China and India, two great consumers.
Even South Africa.
South Africa. So, what can the Americans do? America has lost its real power and it is going to have very difficult days. The problem is the Europeans have understood it and they have also, it has not come here, but I tell you there has been a breach, not a breach, open declaration. America declared it is not with them and the Europeans have formed their own defense association. So, the thing is it is going to be very bad days. Russia is now strengthened with the joining of China and they have a direct railway now. You know, Russia and China has been joined by a railway network and there is no country in between. So, anything and everything can go, arms, ammunition, soldiers. China is now backing Russia very strongly and Russia is also arranging a sort of this island.
If Washington Post says so, what we can assume? What is your comment on that?
Well, when big wars came in the world, starting with not the regional ones, starting with the First World War and then the Second World War, lot of attempts are made by statesmen, diplomats and other people who matter in the world to stop the war, but they couldn't. It comes, a time comes when people they sort of, I use a very slang word, sort of itching for war, itching for killing. And then finally they all kill each other and become exhausted and the whole world becomes poor and then they stop someday and they understand that this has always been futile.